Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. So according to Fabrizio Romano, Juventus are preparing to make a move for Paul Pogba next summer. Juventus hope we would be more open to a player plus cash deal. Now Juventus have already offered us Aaron Ramsey as part of a swap deal for Paul Pogba. We rejected that. They've also offered us Douglas Costa as part of a swap deal for Paul Pogba. We've also rejected that. And I think towards the end of last year, they offered us Federico Bernardeschi or Paula Dybala. Paul Pogba did endure 4 good years with Juventus. But Fabrizio Romano has said that Paul Pogba will leave Man United in the summer, providing an agreement is reached. But he said that he won't leave in this January transfer window. Now, he hasn't only been linked with a return to Juventus. PSG have also been interested in him. It said his agent Mino Raiola has recently been talking with PSG, and it said the other week that Mauricio Pochettino identified Paul Pogba as his top target. Real Madrid have also been relentlessly linked with him, and Barcelona and Inter Milan have been in for him before. Now we have revealed our asking price for Pogba. We want £75 million. Pogba recently gave an interview ahead of this game against Liverpool, and he said that we're not on Liverpool's level as yet, but he said that Man United can win the Premier League. And he was talking about his frustration of being on the bench. Paul Pogba's agent Mino Raiola told 2 Sport last month that his client's career at Man United is over. He said he's unhappy and he has to leave, and he's got no intentions of signing a new contract. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was furious with Mino Raiola's announcement because it was just before the game against RB Leipzig in the Champions League. Earlier on in the season, we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract, so Paul Pogba is under contract on Man United until June 2022. Now, to his credit, he has done well since he came back from that ankle injury. Paul Pogba did have an ankle injury earlier on in the season. He was out for the vast majority of last season with an ankle injury. And he had a minor injury not so long ago. But I think we've come to accept that he won't be signing a long-term contract at the football club. Solskjaer did say earlier on this season that Paul Pogba can be convinced to stay at the club if the club win trophies. Now, this is his 5th season at Manchester United since he rejoined. He's made over 100 appearances for the club in all competitions. He's won 3 trophies so far. That was the Europa League, the League Cup and the Community Shield. We had Pogba when he was a lot younger under the Sir Alex Ferguson era, but we had to let him go due to limited appearances. So that is the breaking news on Paul Pogba. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is on course to earn himself a new contract at Manchester United, reflecting on the progress he has made. Now, back in March 2019, when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer got the job permanently, he signed a 3-year contract at Manchester United. He is now more than halfway through his 3-year deal. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does deserve a lot of credit. You know, he has become the first Man United manager to get as top of the Premier League at this stage of the season since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. We are top of the Premier League by 3 points. Well, we're 3 points ahead of Liverpool. We've been very, very good away from home. You know, we haven't lost away from home in the Premier League in almost a year. We are unbeaten in our last 11 Premier League games. So in the last year or so, Solskjaer's made very, very good progress. Obviously, he got us to the EFL Cup semi-final earlier on in the season. Obviously, we lost that game against Manchester City 2-0. I was disappointed that we lost that, but you know, Man City are a very, very good team, especially in the EFL Cup, because City have won it for the last 3 seasons in a row, and City have now reached their 4th consecutive League Cup final. No one's really mentioning Man City, you know, they're certainly in the title race. You know, Solskjaer did well last season, his first full season at the club. He got us qualification for the Champions League, got us 3rd, and he guided us to 3 semi-finals. Despite our reluctance to back Solskjaer with transfers and that, I still think he has made good signings since he got appointed in as Man United manager. He spent over £200 million at the club. Now, in the summer of 2019, he recommended Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. In January of last year, he recommended Bruno Fernandes in and Odion Ighalo in on loan. And in the summer transfer window of last year, he brought Donny van de Beek in, Alex Telles, Edison Cavani, Facundo Pellistri and Amad Diallo Traore. We got 4 of them players on deadline day last summer. And we've also seen a lot of players leave the club since he got recommended in. So yeah, there's definitely positives you can take. Solskjaer recently gave us an update on our January transfer plans, and he admits there could be further more departures from Man United in this January transfer window. Ed Woodward, by the way, has informed Ole Gunnar Solskjaer that the club needs to be careful with their spending in the transfer market. Now, it said a few weeks ago that Solskjaer held talks with 6 players that he wants to get rid of. Now, Timothy Fosu-Mensah, he recently left the club to join Bayer Leverkusen. Solskjaer did confirm he was allowed to leave anyway. I think we've made the right decision by getting rid of him, because Timothy Fosu-Mensah seldom played for Man United. Solskjaer's also confirmed that Romero and Marcus Rojo are free to leave in this January window. He said, you know, their contracts won't be extended. Jesse Lingard, you know, he's been linked to a move away from Manchester United. He recently said that Solskjaer made a decision on Lingard's future and he actually wants him to stay at the football club this month. Sky Sports recently said that Lingard's representatives were talking with Nice regarding a loan move. West Ham have been in negotiations with his agent. Sheffield United have been in for Lingard. He did say towards the end of last year that Real Sociedad were talking with his representatives. Villa, Celtic and Rangers have also been in for him. We need to sell Lingard because he's poor, and plus, you know, he's lost his place in the team. I think he's in the final 6 months now of his contract. I'm expecting Odion Ighalo to leave. Odion Ighalo's loan at the football club expires at the end of this month. There's obviously been rumours of Daniel James going out on loan. There's been rumours of Brandon Williams going out on loan. Will Phil Jones leave the football club in this January transfer window? I think obviously more players will leave Man United in the summer. So there you go, and I think we are looking to make around 4 signings this year to complete our squad overhaul. Don't forget Solskjaer did say that January signings are unlikely. But Woodward has promised that he will back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's come out several times to support Solskjaer. Woodward did say towards the end of last year that he will back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer with a long-term plan centred around summer transfer windows. This is Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as Manchester United manager. Yeah, like I said, there has been a lot of players on our agenda. I recently gave you the news, didn't I, on Declan Rice. This was stemmed from ESPN saying that Man United are set to rival Chelsea for Declan Rice. Declan Rice is Frank Lampard's #1 transfer target. Frank Lampard was infuriated when he missed out on Declan Rice. I think West Ham valued him at around £80 million. Chelsea spent over £200 million last year. Declan Rice is predominantly a holding midfielder, but he can also be deployed as a centre-half. I like the way he breaks up the play and is well Premier League proven. He's been at West Ham now for several years. He's got a contract with West Ham until 2024. There's also an option to extend his contract for a further 12 months. He's only the age of 22. We've inquired about his availability before. Before Declan Rice was at West Ham, he was actually at Chelsea. He was in their youth setup for several years. I recently gave you the news on Jadon Sancho from Borussia Dortmund. France Football via Sport Witness recently said that Borussia Dortmund are looking for replacements for Jadon Sancho, and it says they've identified their replacement, but it does mention that Man United could sign Sancho in the summer. I said if he leaves Dortmund it will be the summer. It certainly won't be this January transfer window. Jadon Sancho did recently make an admission saying that it's been a difficult season for him at Borussia Dortmund, but he said he's happy to be back among the goals. Now, the Borussia Dortmund CEO explained why Sancho's been struggling at Dortmund this season, because he was expected to join Man United last summer. Now, we believe we can get him for less than £100 million this year. Last summer, Jadon Sancho was our #1 priority target. Borussia Dortmund's valuation was £108 million. We was not willing to meet that valuation, but it did say quite a few times last summer that, the personal terms had been agreed, the agent fees had been agreed, even a contract had been agreed. But Dortmund made it clear to us last summer that we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. We obviously missed out on that deadline. And Fabrizio Romano, who is a very reliable Italian journalist, he's spoken a lot about the Jadon Sancho transfer saga. So too has Bill's Christian Falk. Liverpool and Chelsea are also back in for Sancho. Don't forget, last summer, Sancho said a few times that he wanted to come to Manchester United, and earlier on this season, Borussia Dortmund sacked Lucien Favre. But analysing the vast majority of Sancho's career at Dortmund, he's been very, very consistent. This is his 4th season at Dortmund. He's got a contract with Dortmund until 2023. Dortmund only paid £8 million for him from Man City back in 2017. You know the news on Sergio Ramos. Last time I read up about him, it said that Man United were willing to offer him a 2-year contract. And it says we are thinking about getting him on a free transfer when his contract expires with Real Madrid. And Dimitar Berbatov even urges to go and sign him. But Sergio Ramos is 34 years of age. Oh, he's had a very, very good career with Real Madrid. You know, he's been there around 16 years. He's made, 666 appearances in all competitions and scored around 100 goals. He's won around, 22 major honours with Real Madrid. You know, Real Madrid paid around €27 million for him from Sevilla back in 2005. He's a centre-half, but earlier on in his career, he was a right-back. Jack Grealish, he still remains on our agenda. I think there's a chance we'll sign Grealish if Pogba leaves in the summer. Dayot Upamecano from RB Leipzig, you know, he's another player on our agenda. Don't forget he's available for around £39 million at the end of the season, because that's when his release clause does become active. But like I say, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer could have easily been sacked as Manchester United manager, because we've obviously endured bad periods under him, and reflecting on that, he's obviously been under pressure and that before. You know, so you can say Solskjaer was lucky not to be sacked after our 6-1 loss to Tottenham. You can say he was lucky not to be sacked after us getting knocked out of the Champions League. You can say he was lucky not to be sacked at the first part of last season. But like I've said to you so many times, with Solskjaer being a club legend, our board have a soft stance on him. Disregarding him being a club legend, the board would be a lot more ruthless on him. Reflecting on how long Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's been at the football club, he's gained some managerial experience. He's learned quite a bit. You know, you can probably still say there's a few things he's got to learn on the job. And you can say he has done well to say he's not a manager at the top level. You know, can he emulate into a top level manager? You know, Solskjaer will certainly be here at the end of the season. I think he's going to be given at least another season at the football club. But yeah, these are a lot of Man United fans that are now Ollie in, definitely, reflecting how good we've been in recent months. But earlier on in the season, there was a lot of Man United fans demanding Ollie out, and I was one of them, and I was very, very critical of him. But obviously, with how good we've been in recent months, like I've just mentioned, my perception has slowly started to change on him. Solskjaer's been Manchester United manager for 2 years. Sorry, just over 2 years. And this is his second full season at the football club. And I did say this season was always going to be a big, big season for him. And you can say so far he's exceeding his expectations. Now, if we finish in the top 4, the top 3 and won a trophy, do you think that would represent a good season for Man United? Maybe some Man United fans think it would and some Man United fans think it wouldn't. But I think it would, because it'd give us something to build on. Don't get me wrong, it'd be absolutely remarkable if we won the Premier League. And if we had to beat Liverpool today, then we could win the Premier League, because we'll be 6 points clear and, you know, of Liverpool, and we'll be in a very, very good position. But there's still a long way to go in this season. Like I said, today's game won't define who's going to win the Premier League title. It won't happen. But if we do win the Premier League, it will be our first Premier League title since 2013, and it will be our 21st title overall. Be a fantastic achievement if we did win that. But, you know, Solskjaer has been playing mind games, hasn't he, don't forget, because he was saying prior to the Burnley game that Man United must stay humble. and not think they've cracked it if they go top. And he was saying after our 1-0 win against Wolves that we're not in the title races yet. But he said if we are still challenging him in March, he'll start to believe that we are in the title race. Now, you know, there's 3 trophies that we can pursue this season. There's the Premier League, there's the FA Cup, and there's also the Europa League. It's very, very imperative that we get our first trophy on the board under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. We haven't won a trophy now for just over 4 years. But like I said to you, you know, Mauricio Pochettino was the favourite to replace Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the club. He was actually the favourite to come in after Jose Mourinho got sacked. Obviously, Pochettino's totally now out of the equation because he's PSG's new manager. By the way, I think I mentioned it to you. Pochettino's already won his first trophy as PSG manager. But we appointed Solskjaer in December 2018 to replace Mourinho, and he's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. We give him the job permanently, reflecting on what he did in that 3-month period when he was temporary boss. But like I've said on my recent videos and that, you know, Solskjaer, when he got appointed in, he was inheriting a lot of deadwood. You know, he's still inheriting some of the deadwood now. The vast majority of this team is Jose Mourinho's. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. 3 managers have been sacked since Ferguson. That was Moyes, sacked him after 10 months. Moyes enjoyed the shortest tenure at the club. We finished 7th under the David Moyes era. That's the lowest we've finished in the Premier League era. We sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years, despite him winning the FA Cup. And we sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years, despite him winning the Europa League, the League Cup and the Community Shield in his first season. I'll give you the reasons it didn't work out under Mourinho is because obviously he had bad disputes with the board, he had bad disputes with the top players such as Pogba, Martial, Shaw, Rashford and all of that. And basically the board just weren't backing the signings that I wanted to recommend in. And I said, didn't I, that Solskjaer's been facing the same problem as what Mourinho was facing in regards to, you know, transfers and all of that, because, you know, Mourinho, like I said, wasn't backed enough. You know, Solskjaer hasn't been backed enough. But despite that, you know, like I said, we're still in a very, very good position. And we have got some very, very good players in our team. You know, you've got Marcus Rashford, that's a very, very good player. You've got Edison Cavani, that's good. He's enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. Not so long ago, Cavani was serving a 3-match ban because he put a racist comment on social media the other month. You've got, you know, Anthony Martial, that's good when he wants to be. Hasn't proven it a lot though this season because he hasn't been clinical enough in front of goal. Recently sustained a hamstring injury in our 1-0 win against Burnley. You've got Bruno Fernandes, that's an exceptional player. He's the best signing since the Sir Alex Ferguson era, and you know, he's the best player we've got. Fernandes has been at the club now for almost a year, but certainly has made the difference in the team. You know, you've got Donny van de Beek, who's good when he plays, but Donny van de Beek seldom starts in the Premier League. You know, most of his appearances come from the bench. Sources in Italy recently said that Inter Milan are willing to take him on loan this month. But I think Donny van de Beek's made his decision. He wants to stay at Man United and fight for his place. You know, Solskjaer was speaking about him the other week. You know, he insists that Van de Beek's got a bright future at United and tips him to emulate Fred and Lindelof by succeeding at the club. You know, Van de Beek can play in like 3 different roles. You know, you've got Paul Pogba that's done very, very well recently. Most of his Man United career, though, since he rejoined, he has been inconsistent, but there's also been injuries involved where he hasn't been able to play. You know, you've got Fred that's really, really improved under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. Tomway can play well when he wants to. You've got Luke Shaw that's really improved. very good left back, Luke Shaw. My only element of concern about him is injury prone. Tellez has done well since he's come in as well. When he has played, but there again, he hasn't really played a lot, because at one point he had COVID, did Alex Tellez. And Luke Shaw's obviously been getting more chances than him. He's enjoyed a couple of bad games, though, Tellez. Harry Maguire, got to give him credit, he's done well. Eric Bay's done well since he started playing again. And Wan-Bissaka's a good right back, defensively very good, but obviously we've got concerns about his lack of attacking intent and his distribution. I think, David De Gea, is getting back to his best. David De Gea is going to remain our number one for at least this season. This is David De Gea's 10th season at Manchester United, so he has been a long servant. And when Dean Henderson's played this season, he's also done very, very well. And at some point, Dean Henderson will become our number one. And Juan Mata, to be fair, I've been impressed with him in the games he's played in this season. Juan Mata could leave the football club in the summer. Even Matic, he could leave the football club in the summer. But yeah, like I say, big game today. Man United against Liverpool at Anfield. We know how much of a difficult game this is going to be. Anfield is a fortress in the Premier League. Liverpool haven't lost at Anfield in the Premier League since April 2017. So they're almost 4 years now being at Anfield in the league. Like I said, our last win at Anfield was back in 2016 when Wayne Rooney had scored that late goal. Obviously, we lost the fixture at Anfield last season 2-0. It was goals from Salah and Virgil van Dijk. We lost at Anfield back in December 2018 3-1. Don't forget that was Jose Mourinho's final game as Man United manager. Man United and Liverpool are the two most successful clubs in England. I've already given you my preview for the game. I give you my starting 11 prediction. I give you my predictions yesterday of what score I think it's going to be and who's going to score in the game. Jurgen Klopp was moaning the other week about, how many penalties we get. He says we get like a penalty every 3 games. And he was saying like we've had more penalties in like 2 years than he's had in 5.5 years at Liverpool. And obviously Solskjaer did back at Jurgen Klopp. But Solskjaer did say in his press conference that he's got a lot of respect for Jurgen Klopp. Solskjaer's made an admission regarding Liverpool. He did say that they have been the best team in England for the past 18 months. And he said they have been great for the last 3 years. So can we be the team today to end their unbeaten run at Anfield in the Premier League? We will have to see. So anyway guys, that's everything to update today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.